Hey everybody, Mike with Games Played Badly, and I'm having a really hard time shooting this intro because I actually have people in studio today who are watching me live, and it's freaking me out. But today's episode is actually with an LGBT creator, but he's not part of the TTRPG community. He's part of two separate communities on Facebook, and these groups are massive, and there are a lot of people in them, and I wanted to talk to him about how he came up with the idea of creating them, how he manages and maintains them, how he deals with the group dynamics, and how he publicizes them. So I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to talk to him. That interview starts now. Hey Jamie, how are you?
I'm really good, and you?
Oh, I'm glad to have you.
Well, thank you for having me.
I can't believe I actually have someone next to me I'm interviewing as opposed to doing a Zoom. So this is pretty awesome.
I'm honored to be your first.
Oh, there you go. And you have a commemorative mug.
Which camera should I look in? There you go. There you go. Hey.
There we go. All of our guests who come in studio have a commemorative mug. So you're the first one, and that's the only one I have. So there you go.
Nice.
So why don't you tell me more about what you're doing on Facebook? I know you have two very popular groups, and it's really funny that we are both fans of at least one of those things. Mm-hmm. But why don't you tell me about the wrestling group first?
So actually, the wrestling group was the first one I created. Mm-hmm. And I created it in 2006.
Oh, wow.
So the reason I started that group was because my husband and I had just gotten married. And I figured, hey, look, that was the one thing that got us talking to begin with. So I figured if this can work for us, there's possibly other LGBTQ plus humans out there that love wrestling and wish they knew other people that they can talk about it, go to shows with, or just be friends with. And not necessarily in a relationship, a partner relationship, but just friendships you can build. So I was always very hesitant to do that because of what I've seen in other groups and how people behave. But I decided to just go ahead and bite the bullet, and I did it. So we started the LGBT group in October 30th of 2006.
Very cool. Very cool. So 2006, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's almost 10 years now.
Oh my goodness. Well, almost happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so how many members do you have of your group?
So in the wrestling group, we have 2,600 members.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's and a lot of personalities, which is wonderful.
Yeah, well, and also has its pitfalls, right? I mean, you're not only running the group, but you're moderating it too.
Absolutely. So it's always been kind of hard because you want to partake as much as possible because I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling, but I have to. It's kind of like a parent, right? You can't be friends with your parents, so
yeah,
I need to keep a certain distance,
right?
I can't
objectivity.
Yeah, and I can't participate in some of the promotional events where we give prizes away,
right? Because you're the one giving them away.
Yeah, or my moderators. I do have moderators who help me run the group, and if they're doing something, I can't really, as much as I really want to win, but. Yeah.
So why don't you talk to me about what the group was before and during COVID? Okay. So what were those changes that happened?
So the group started getting popular maybe 5 years ago. It started expanding a lot and a lot. And since then we've gone through several changes. Some heartaches.
Sure.
Like anything, right?
Right.
But I think during COVID, especially after COVID, we really found ourselves because it brought everyone even closer. Okay. The community that exists now is just a bunch of people who are there just to talk about wrestling and just have fun with one another. They're not there for themselves. They're not there for their friends. It's just about making sure that everyone is good. Everyone's having a great time. Everyone's laughing. That's the one thing we really do love in that group. It's just good old laughter, and we're so silly that sometimes some of our members actually get sent to Facebook jail, even though it's something simple, but it's and then not bad at all. But obviously the algorithms
catch things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all about just having fun. So during COVID, what happened was we were there for each other. We do have an extension group for the wrestling group. It's called the Performance Center.
Okay.
The LWF Performance Center. And so the goal of that branch is just to make sure, and we do it in the main group too, but it's just to make sure everyone's doing good. Are you physically good? Are you mentally good? What's going on? Yesterday's post was like, hey, just tell me something happy, something that's going good, happening in your life that you're just excited and happy about. Because I want to hear about that. It's not about me. Like, it's easy for a creator to kind of like be the star, the center of attention.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're doing it for everyone else. So
right.
It's really like, if you're happy, I'm happy. If you're not happy, something's wrong and I'm not doing my job. And neither is my team.
Well, I mean, and I don't think that I'm going to rebut that just a bit, because at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy, and that's what also gets creators down.
Absolutely.
Is when they can't fulfill everyone's wishes. And when you have 2, 3, 10, 20, 30,000 followers, obviously not everyone's going to be on the same page at the same time. So those are the trials and tribulations that happen when you're part of a community, right?
Absolutely. And I've had a lot of situations where, people weren't happy all the time. Or people created situations that didn't make others happy. And it's tough because you really want to be inclusive. You want to include everyone.
Right.
We have men, women, binary, older, younger, gay, lesbians, like anything you can think of. We even, our group is all inclusive. We have people who consider themselves straight or cisgender. So we want to make sure that everyone feels happy and included and free to express themselves, but at the same time not trumping the rest of the community, because we're only as...
Pun intended.
Yeah, right? We're, that's a key word, community. There's not I, not you, not a couple of us. It's all of us. So at the end of the day, I have to look out for the greater good. As we say, as as a Star Trek fan.
Yeah. This is true.
The good out of the many outweigh the good of the one.
And so you have the wrestling group, which sounds amazing, and I'm not sure if you guys are seeing these amazing belts behind us, but so you guys also do quite a bit of charity work, don't you?
Yeah, so every year during the WrestleMania season, which is WWE's big, spectacular list, Super Bowl of wrestling, they choose a host city. And so what I've done was I've created the Giving Mania charity event for the group. And so every year during WrestleMania, whatever host city is having WrestleMania, I look up LGBTQ plus charity. And so we start collecting money for that charity. We've started off raising, like $1,000, and now close to $3,000 with the last one we did. So in the past few years in total, I think we've raised like $7,000 or $8,000.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's great.
And so the last one was for the Ronald McDonald House. Unfortunately, Fort Lauderdale doesn't really have a LGBTQ plus like center or group. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Yeah. But through our research, we couldn't find one specific, so we decided, give it to the children.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because I know that your husband actually works for Ronald McDonald House now. Now, yes, not before. It wasn't. There was no connection, but yes, it was a very recent event. But I know that is kind of his dream job.
Yeah, we did volunteer work for a long time with the Ronald McDonald House, and then COVID happened. So when Giving Mania came up, it was a great opportunity to, like, kind of not only for us to give back, but to get others involved in, helping these families with sick children that needed a lot of help and a place to stay when they're trying to recuperate.
So the great thing about your group is you're bringing together a community of like-minded individuals in a safe environment, and you're also using that to do good within the community in which you're serving. So those are all great things. I love it.
Thanks.
So now tell me about your other group, because that is something that I am familiar with.
Yes, and
I'm not sure if you notice the lumen glass behind me, but if you're a Star Trek fan,
you'll be assimilated.
Yes, absolutely.
So I started the Star Trek group. I don't remember the exact year, but it's. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years now. And that was just an extension of like, hey, that's something I like. That's something I can talk about. So I know there are other groups out there for wrestling that and Star Trek that are LGBTQ plus, but you know, with me, my concern is just having a safe community.
Right.
And so I started that one as an extension of my love for Star Trek because, you know, I fell in love with it with TNG.
I have seen your basement, and it is, yes, he has a problem.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, so... but, you know, it's the same thing. It's just laughter. Everyone just goes there to laugh. As long... Of course, we have to follow Facebook standards.
Yeah,
and as of late, they've been a little tougher. But, you know, it's just laugh. I mean, we're just there to have fun. And just make sure that it's safe. Make sure that people who are different aren't going to be ostracized for who they are
Being
and what
different.
they like. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it doesn't matter if you're LGBTQ plus or straight or cisgender, as you know.
Right.
But as long as you're like happy and safe, that's all that matters.
Well, I think it really speaks to the fact of having someplace safe where you can go and not be judged and not worry about being yelled at or ridiculed or for your opinions and your views, because some of these communities, Star Wars, are pretty tough. And so to have someplace close that you can, you know, go to and express your opinions and not get emotionally crushed by the masses is very important nowadays.
But that's something you build, right? Because in both groups, there's been tendency in the past to kind of just go in on things that people didn't like and just be really outright nasty. And you have to reel everyone in and say, hey,
Absolutely.
I get it. It may not be your cup of tea, just like certain things aren't mine. But I'm also not yucking somebody else's yum.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, just tell me what you like. Tell me what you're happy about. If there's something you don't like, there's ways to put it, but don't yuck it for someone else. Because, you know, we're all different. At the end of the day, everyone is absolutely different. So
right. I mean, it's finding that common ground. And that's where being that moderator and being that creator of the group, that's where that fine line is. And it's very difficult to dance, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it's my advice to any admin or moderator out there is that you're going to have to like deal with being the bad guy sometimes. And it's not going to be fun. Right. There's going to be a lot of heartaches. In some cases, tears. Because you really aren't there just to make people happy. But at the end of the day, you have to think of the greater good.
Right.
And you may lose one member or 10 members, a friend, make a foe or whatnot. But... you know, it's not about you. It's about other people. So, like, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's just to make folks happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's going to be a point where, you know, every rose has its thorns type situation. I mean, I know in the TTRPG community we've had, there's actually somebody who I followed that I really, you know, I liked, but then they posted something that was just... they would just attack somebody for no reason. And I was like, nah, unfollow. I don't condone those actions. No, and they may still have plenty of followers. Me not following them anymore didn't probably mean a whole hill of beans. But it was my choice to do that. So I didn't post anything. I posted a response to them saying that I felt like this is a very... there's the exact opposite of what the community was about. And, you know, I had an opinion. It was all very civil. And then I... promptly unfollowed them and just kind of moved on. But obviously in all these communities that we have, whether it's the gaming community or the wrestling community, the Star Trek community, the Star Wars community, that there are always kind of those hardliners in there who just kind of want to ruin it for everybody.
And we're experiencing toxic fandom all across the board in all the universes. Because people are just, I think people are getting a little too comfortable with the fact that they're not in front of anyone. And they
absolutely
spew hatred. Even on the things that we love. Like,
right.
Like, you know, is there really a reason to, like one championship over another?
Or be toxic about it.
Yeah,
you know,
be really, yeah, it's like, fine. I may like that one better, mostly because it has my name. But, you know, it doesn't mean I'm going to go poo-poo on this one and, like, yuck it for everyone else. So... you know, and the same with Star Trek or any fandom. And, you know, in the tabletop world, it's like, you're there just to have fun. So you just, it's, your main goal is to control the toxicity.
Right.
And try to maintain it. And sometimes you have to make the hard decisions. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's for everyone. It's to have fun, and that's what we really do. At the end of the day, we have such great times. We've had moments where even Facebook came in and shut down one of our show chats because we were being a little extra silly,
right?
But everyone was just laughing, and even the fact that we got shut down just brought laughter to everyone. So,
well, you guys do a lot of. I mean, you guys do a lot of live watches too, don't you? I mean, you're watching like WrestleMania together and having a chat going on with that and everything. I mean, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, we do live chats for most of the shows. There's so much wrestling nowadays, especially with like the networks, like WWE Network and some of the other ones. But we try to do the main ones, and we'll do a live chat where everyone's just going in on the show, laughing, criticizing in a positive way, of course.
Sure.
Sometimes, sometimes something is really bad, and we have to call it out because
you guys are fans.
It is. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You can't always be like, positively lying about something just for the sake of making people happy. Like, hey, that was a bad segment. That was inappropriate. That was such a waste of time. But we're really just having fun. And you'll find that most of the time, 99% of the time, people will agree with you. Just because it's like, it shows. Right.
Okay, so, this month is Pride Month.
Yeah.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride. Cheers.
And we are both happily married gay men.
Absolutely.
And I know that you and your husband have been together for 15 years?
Yeah, we've been together 15 years and married 9.
And Sean and I have been together for 25 years. We've been married
2014.
It gets harder and harder, doesn't it?
It's like, sorry. So this is coming from my executive producer, who is my husband, by the way, who I have to thank because he set up we have 3 cameras going. We have all the lighting. He set up all the studio, got the TV running. Everything. I could not do this without him. So whenever I do Zoom meetings and stuff like that, that overlay Sean helped design, and he created that logo right there. And let me redo that so I'm looking at that camera. He created that logo right there. He drew this on a map with a dry erase marker when we were playing with some friends of ours, and I fell in love with it and I adopted it as my own. So thank you to my wonderful husband for always being there and supporting me, as silly as I am, and as this is kind of a crazy thing. Like, I mean, did you have anything crazy during COVID that you started doing?
Not really.
Yeah.
I got to spend more time with Moses for the first time ever.
Okay.
Because he worked as a bartender, and then he started moving up in the hotel industry. So it was like different hours because obviously hotels never sleep and bars never sleep.
Right.
So we never really had much weekends or evenings together. So during COVID, unfortunately, he was at home more, and at one point even got unemployed, like so many unfortunate people out there.
Right.
But it was a great opportunity for us to be together 24/7.
Right.
And luckily, we're both still alive, still happily married, still sleeping in the same room, same bed.
Right.
I guess that's the one major change. And we just moved in like 2 years ago. So we got an opportunity to really work on the house inside, decorating and positioning things like we wanted to, and just enjoy everything, literally from like the tiniest rooms to the entire backyard. So I guess that's what you could say we've done the entire time. It's just enjoy ourselves in our home.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I mean, this whole thing started, all this was because of COVID. So I had some free time on my hands.
Yeah.
I was not unemployed, but I was working from home, and I always have. I have a small consulting firm that, I've been working with, or I've had for a long time. But during COVID, business dropped off. So I had a lot of free time on my hands. And so I started doing the filming and the miniature painting and all that stuff. So Sean and I have, we going through this entire thing. I mean, after being together this long, it was interesting to see how we would adapt. We're at each other's sides all the time anyway. Like when I go somewhere, he's right there with me, vice versa. So it wasn't all that different, but it put some additional stress in the mix. Not because of anything other than a pandemic. You're worried about getting ill, or you're worried about your friends, and you're worried about your family and things like that.
And you're also used to seeing your friends.
Right.
And so now you're just cut off completely.
That's absolutely right. And, from the tabletop role-playing game standpoint, a lot of us are used to playing with each other in person. and not having that human interaction is pretty tough. Now, we found interesting ways of doing things, whether it be over Zoom or Facebook chat or whatever. The community's gotten really dynamic. Well, dynamic with the way that they do things. I mean, there are a myriad of ways to do it, but you can tell there are people who are tired. So much like in your groups where you're like, are you mentally healthy? There was a lot of I am not okay in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those were things that have been highlighted. There's a creator by the name of Wilbo Baggins, and he does a mental health Twitch, which I think serves the community very well.
It's necessary.
Absolutely. And so I think those are important things that I think our community serve is checking. It's like the virtual door knock. You know, are you okay? Is everything okay? And if it's not okay, then let's talk about it and figure out how to make it better.
Absolutely.
So, and in the LGBT community, especially, you're talking about people who have already been isolated, possibly by their families.
Their entire life.
You know, and now they're isolated physically from anybody that they know. So it was very tough on all of our communities, especially. But the LGBT community, I think, was probably one of the more affected communities during the pandemic. You know?
Absolutely, I agree, because at least for the wrestling, LGBT wrestling fans group, we are used to meeting up at WrestleMania or any of the other pay-per-views. Like if something happened here in Chicago at the Rosemont, my age is showing, at the Allstate Arena, you know, I would make sure that everyone knew, like, hey, I'm going to be here. Where are you at? Like, let's meet together. Let's have that interaction. And so we missed out on many, like, shows that people could have, like, met up and had fun. But then, you know, fortunately, like, I have one of my moderators, Kevin, who's amazing. I brought him on during the pandemic, and it was a godsend because he was just like, hey, what if we did a simple little contest? And, you know, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, we are breaking records in chats. Like, we're having over 1,000 comments. We're having over, you know, 30 people in a chat. Normally, it's the same group of people constantly, even though we have 2,600 members. But, you know, it's because it's fun. No, he was bringing people in, and people who were, like, stay quiet. At one point, we even heard about people who were like, yeah, we've joined the group a couple years ago, but we stayed quiet, and it's like, now we're interacting even more. And so, yes, that the pandemic kind of separated us, but it kind of brought us a little closer in different ways.
It may have pulled people out of their shells a little bit, you know. So you're hearing from people who may not necessarily have commented before because they just kind of lurked and read some comments and things like that. So,
and that's fine.
Right.
I'm happy with lurkers. Like if you're a wallflower and you just want to sit back and enjoy other people's silliness and posts, that's fine. Sure. But you're always know that you're always welcome. That the community is here for all of you. Right. Just, you know, whether it's Star Trek, you know, tabletop playing. Wrestling, My Little Pony. I mean, whatever. Yeah,
you're a brony, aren't you?
I'm a little bit of everything. I'm, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine, Harry Potter, even Star Wars. Sorry, Star Trek group. I like them both. You know, it's like if anything to kind of. So I'm the only child, right? So I had a lot of time with my imagination growing up. So, you know, whatever sucked me in that I can like start playing and like. I hate you. The 14-year-old over here.
Way to stay
Okay, all right. So I mean, so being an only.
Nope.
Nope, not gonna do it. No, I can't do it. Nope.
I'm wearing a sweater, but underneath nothing.
So you being an only child, obviously you had a lot of free time on your hand.
Oh my god! So as an only child, oh my god.
I can't get through it.
Worst interview ever.
Oh, and look, and when you look up, you get like crazy eye. You got that crazy eye.
I'm coming for you, Barbara. Okay.
Yeah, so as an only child, I
Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna pee on myself.
So as a child, it seemed like you were into a whole bunch of different stuff: Star Trek, wrestling, Star Wars. Apparently, don't get mad at
I know, right?
Everybody. But
yeah, no, I had a lot of free time to like watch a lot of TV and read books. So like whether it was like trains or like right now Lionel trains in the basement or Star Trek. Like I got to like see more Star Trek. Like I didn't know about the original series, but then I
TNG was probably your first.
Oh my god, yeah, and Sir Patrick Stewart, which you fall in love with because he's like so amazing. Yeah, right.
I met him.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. At a convention. I had to pay though. Whatever. Sir Patrick Stewart was amazing. He really was. He was
Absolutely.
He was very kind to me, and we shared a moment. And I will not get into that on this video because it was private.
But he comes across on screen like such a parental figure with the cast, so that kind of sucks you into it.
He is, and well, he also supports a group or a charity in the UK called Refuge, and Refuge is a charity for battered women, which my mom was one of those. So I just had a small moment where I said, apparently not so private, because I'm gonna tell you. I was like, I just wanted to thank you for, because we were taking a picture, so we're standing looking this way, and I said, I just wanted to tell you I appreciate you supporting Refuge. I said my mom was battered as well, and I wish we'd had something like that, when she was kind of going through it. And so there was a line behind me, and I just wanted to get out of the way, and I started moving, and he goes and grabs me and spins me around and gives me a hug.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. It was just amazing. So. But awesome guy. So obviously I'm a Star Trek fan,
and he's a huge LGBTQ supporter.
And I think it's right there. Actually.
Oh!
So this is a funny thing. This is our original picture down here. This is as I was talking to him. I didn't realize the photographer was taking the picture, and he was talking to me, and so it came out like that. Look at Sean's face. And so what he did was he photoshopped a better picture on top.
Who did, Sean?
Yeah, Sean did.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, those are intense.
I just love Sean's face.
Everyone's look is intense. I mean, Sean, definitely.
So, yeah, that was very interesting. So now you have these two amazing groups. What's the future? I mean, what does the future hold?
I just hope that we're able to find more people out there who think they're by themselves and like have no one else to share their love for those fandoms. Obviously, in the future, now that COVID is over and restrictions are lessening all across the board everywhere in the world, people could start meeting up again.
Yes.
People who've become friends through the group can start, hanging out. We recently had someone from New York who came to visit a group of us here in Chicago, and because the restrictions are gone now, and so hopefully we're gonna have more social interactions. Definitely we will be continuing the charity giving because I think that is the most important part of our entire year. Only because it's extremely selfless, No one's getting anything out of it. It's not like, you get a cup or a shopping bag.
Right.
We're not any other like pledge organization.
Right.
But I just want us to continue that because it's like we're here coming together for something that's about entertainment, and we're spending money on championship belts or starship models or going to see shows. But we definitely have an opportunity to spend some of that cash on people who really need it. Right. So that's my main goal. It's just to make sure that I'm able to bring more people into the charity so that we can like make those checks bigger. Ronald McDonald was so happy that they received so much money. I think, they had not received much during COVID, at least in Fort Lauderdale. Right,
probably from just independent donors as opposed to like huge.
So, I mean, I got a phone call there. She was like, why? How'd you hear about us? And, I had to explain to her, and it was just like, it means a lot to people. Right. That, there's people out there who are selfless and don't care about themselves and are willing to give up a portion of their hard earn money, right? Because nothing is for free. We all have to work for it.
Well, yeah, especially during COVID when, employment was a huge issue and so many people were going without jobs, to have donations to an organization that may not necessarily suffer without those donations, but to have people do it during that time was probably very shocking. So
yeah, absolutely. And it meant a lot because we broke our previous record. And people, like, as soon as I was like, wow, we're like, you know, $50 away, they were like, you know what? Here's 100.
Right.
Here's, you know, God bless. We had some people who were donating huge amounts and who wanted to be remain nameless. And I respected that.
Right.
But it was just like, man, like, when you see that, it just fills your heart. Like, I literally was in tears when I saw that we went over our record by so much.
Right.
Because it's selfless.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
we don't take any of this with us afterwards. And it's like, if we can just make a difference while we're here. And I think that's why, like, kind of bringing people in the LGBTQ plus community into whether it's wrestling, again, tabletop, like if we can bring them together so that they can have fun, do something good for not just charities, but for each other. You know, be there.
To have that support. Yeah, to have that community support is a huge deal. And I know that our community has a very large LGBTQ plus following, and there are some amazing creators out there who I've interviewed who are part of our community, and I just really wanted to do an episode during Pride Month with an LGBTQ plus creator, and obviously that's you. So I want to thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for giving me a platform to
absolutely
promote this positivity.
Well, and you know what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to go through and in the comment, or not, in the description below, I'm going to have links to both of the groups that Jamie actually moderates and has created. If you want to join those groups, simply click join the group, and there are a couple questions that will be asked. You'll answer those, and then you'll be approved to join the group. And I hope you really enjoy those because I've been in both of them, and they are very positive. The people there are awesome, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of bump you get from this, because I know tabletop people, you love some wrestling. I know you do. And I know for a fact that you guys love some Star Trek. So there you go. It's a perfect group to be a part of. I do have something I do with all my guests, and it's the first time I get a chance to do it live. It's my quick fire round.
Ooh.
So these are hard-hitting, investigative questions that you must answer truthfully.
Okay, I will try my best.
And my first question is hamburger or hot dog?
Ooh, hamburger.
Yeah.
Hamburger all the way, and add cheese.
Absolutely.
It has to be a cheeseburger.
What's your favorite condiment? This is not a quick fire question, but
cheese.
Cheese. I mean,
oh, cheese is not really a condiment. More cheese. You know what? I'm a simple guy. Just put ketchup on it.
Ketchup, okay.
Yeah, ketchup.
Do you put ketchup on your hot dog? This is a Chicago question.
You should not put ketchup on a Chicago hot dog. But I am not opposed to a little ketchup falling onto the hot dog and me eating it.
So, full disclosure, my husband likes ketchup on his hot dog.
I'm fine with that. I'm not going to... We don't judge in any community.
Right.
We accept, we love, and we eat.
Right. Ice cream or gelato?
Oh, man.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. It depends on my mood. Darn. I'm going to go with good old-fashioned ice cream.
Okay.
Just that milky texture.
Yeah, the gelato has interesting... I mean, there are some days where I'm like, I might actually enjoy gelato, but I don't normally get it. But I figured some people...
And, you know, I start off very basic when I try stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I'm having Chinese food, I know it's not real Chinese food, but, you know, you go for the fried rice.
Yeah.
If you make it well, then I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Ice cream, vanilla. If you make that ice cream vanilla cone amazing, I'm coming back. So keep it simple, try it out first, and then expand to the other.
Oh, I agree. Well, and that's whenever I eat at any restaurant, I go for whatever their basic dish is, and if they can't execute that well, I don't go back.
Yeah, go to Mexican. If you can't make a good taco.
Or if the rice is bad.
Oh, yeah, rice.
The rice is a
most basic thing on the planet.
Yeah, if you can't make good rice, then I don't know what you're doing in business.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Spring or fall?
Fall. I love Halloween. I love that coziness, sweaters. I'm not as basic as a pumpkin spice latte, but, you know, Coffee just tastes better because the air is crisper. We build fires.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and the colors of the leaves. It's just a whole different environment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fall.
Right.
Definitely a fall guy.
Okay. East Coast or West Coast?
Oh man,
that's a pretty broad statement, but
it's hard. It's because you get like the beautiful colors of the like the fall and the greenery of the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But the West Coast just has that summer feel all the time. So I can't give you an answer. No. If I'm going to choose, well, you know what? And again, at my age, I start thinking like natural disasters. It's kind of hard.
Which side's going to fall off the earth first?
Yeah. It's like hurricanes, earthquakes, rising sea levels.
Right.
Yeah, so.
I think it's those are the only ones I have. But, again, I appreciate you being on the show. It's been amazing. Full disclosure, Jamie's actually my neighbor. And we were lucky enough to meet them during COVID because they had moved into the house behind us and became instant friends. And I think people in the LGBTQ plus community can understand this. Moving into a house in a neighborhood that you're not familiar with is scary as hell.
Very.
Because you don't know who your neighbors are. You don't know how they're going to react. You don't know this. You don't know that. So when we first moved in, I made sure that everyone knew. They're like, oh, is your wife showing up? My husband. And I kind of let them know immediately who I was. So that way I could see it in their face if they were, consternated or anti or what have you. Luckily, we've been very blessed to be surrounded by some really good people. We have a lesbian couple next to us, and then we have you behind us. Mm-hmm. And so that's been pretty amazing. We feel pretty insulated with some really good neighbors, and we started talking. I was like, I would love to have you on the show just because of your passion for your groups, and you're a creator in your own right, and I'm just really glad that we were able to talk.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same way. It's like you said. It's very nice to know that you're moving somewhere because once you buy a house, it's not like you're jumping from house to house.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
But the fact that we have this amazing gay couple behind us and an amazing lesbian couple, and then we have the diversity.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
We're like the most diverse block where we live.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We have Latinos, African American, and it's just like it's wonderful to know that we're in such a diverse, accepting part of our little area.
Our little suburb.
A little suburb.
I do want to thank you again.
Cheers.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Let the logo show.
I guess, there's a logo there. I also want to do a little shout out because I do have a little Pride shirt on. And this is from the Dungeon Glitch collection of Gem Firefly. And so Gem Firefly has been producing some amazing shirts lately. They actually produce some flags as well for Pride and all sorts of different events. If you want to purchase this shirt or look at any of their other creations, Matt is amazing over there. Go ahead and go to gemfirefly.com. Put in our discount code of Badly15 for 15% off your order. That does not come to us. It is simply a discount for you. And go and check out his stuff. He's absolutely amazing. He's a really good person. He does a lot of great things for our community. He does a lot of great things for other communities. He's a very generous and giving person. So go ahead and check him out. And at this point, all I gotta say is thank you all for watching. If you like this video, then please click the subscribe button. It's down there somewhere.
It's right here.
It is over there. I think.
And the little bell, so hit the bell for notifications.
If you want notifications, you can click the bell. I'm just happy to subscribe. He's pushing it, but yes, so that way you can be alerted to all of our new content. And there's some really cool stuff coming up. So go ahead and subscribe to this video, and I will see you all very soon. Happy Pride.